Something shifted around 3 in the morning last night, and if you woke up for no reason and just lay there staring at the ceiling, you already know exactly what I'm talking about. That heaviness in your chest, before your mind even caught up with it. That sudden urge to cancel plans you were excited about 20 minutes earlier. That feeling like the walls of the life you built so carefully are creaking, just slightly, in a way only you can hear. You are not imagining it. Tomorrow, the sky delivers one of the most structurally disruptive full moons of the entire year, and if this video found you right now, at this exact hour, that was not random. That was design. I don't say chosen ones lightly. I say it because algorithms don't decide who needs to hear a warning like this one. Energy does, and something in your field pulled this message toward you tonight for a reason. Maybe you've been feeling like you're outgrowing a version of yourself that everyone else still expects you to play. Maybe you've been holding a structure together, a job, a relationship, a role inside your own family that's been quietly cracking under the weight for months, and you're the only one who can feel it groaning underneath you. If any part of that resonates, keep watching, because what happens in the next day will either catch you off guard or find you already prepared, and the distance between those two outcomes is everything I'm about to walk you through. Here's what's actually happening above your head right now, because none of this is vague mysticism. This part is verifiable. Tomorrow, the moon reaches full illumination in the sign of Aquarius, sitting in a tight, tense conjunction with Pluto, the planet of total transformation, upheaval, and buried power. Traditionally, this particular July lunation carries an old nickname, the buck moon, because it lands during the exact stretch of summer when growth becomes undeniable, whether you're ready for it or not. At the very same moment, the sun sits locked in conjunction with Jupiter, back in Leo, amplifying pride, visibility, and the parts of you that are quietly desperate to be seen and believed, rather than managed and minimized. Underneath all of it, the lunar nodes are shifting into new signs, which is the sky's way of rewriting the entire direction you've been walking in without asking your permission first. When a full moon lands with Pluto riding directly alongside it, this isn't a soft, romantic lunation. It's a pressure release valve. Whatever has been quietly building inside the architecture of your life, the resentment you've swallowed, the compromise you keep making, the version of fine you've been performing for an audience that never actually asked you to perform it. This is the moon that cracks it open. And Aquarius doesn't do that quietly or emotionally the way a water sign would. Aquarius does it structurally, suddenly, like a building that seemed completely solid right up until the exact second a hidden fault line finally gives way. There's also a wider planetary backdrop feeding into all of this. Jupiter and Pluto have spent the last stretch of this year locked in their own long-distance standoff across the chart, one expanding, one excavating, and this full moon is the night that particular tension gets pulled directly into your personal life instead of staying background noise. Think of your life right now as a structure. Not metaphorically, actually picture it for a second. The foundation is the belief systems you grew up inheriting, the ones you never really chose. The walls are the roles you play for other people so they know where to find you. The windows are how much light and truth you actually allow yourself to see versus how much you've painted over. And the doorways are the choices you keep almost making but haven't fully walked through yet. Most of the year, this structure holds. You patch a crack here, you repaint a wall there, and life carries on like nothing underneath it ever moved. But every so often, the sky sends a full moon engineered specifically to test the entire structure at once. not to destroy you, but to show you, with total and sometimes uncomfortable clarity, exactly which parts of your life were never actually built to last. Tomorrow's Aquarius full moon is one of those inspections. And inspections don't care how you feel about the outcome. They only care whether the structure is sound. So how do you know if your structure is already being tested? Here are 4 signals your body and your field have likely already picked up on right now, hours before the moon even peaks. Number 1 is the foundation crack. This shows up as sudden, uncomfortable clarity about something you built your entire life around: a relationship, a career path, a belief about who you actually are underneath the resume version of yourself. You're not questioning it for no reason. The ground underneath it has genuinely shifted, and your nervous system noticed before your conscious mind caught up to the news. If you've had a strange, out-of-place thought today about someone or something you assumed was long settled, that's not random static. That's the foundation crack making itself known, quietly, before the real pressure even arrives. Number 2 is the load-bearing wall. This one feels like exhaustion that doesn't match your actual schedule. You're not doing more than usual on paper, but you feel like you're personally holding up something enormous. That's because, energetically, you very likely are. Aquarius rules the collective, the group, the invisible role you play for everyone else. And right now, if you've quietly been the load-bearing wall for your family, your friend group, or the people at work who lean on you without ever asking whether you're tired, that wall is under real, measurable pressure tonight. Your shoulders might be physically tight for no obvious reason. That's not a coincidence. That's structural strain, and it's asking to be acknowledged instead of ignored one more time. Number 3 is the window effect. This is the sudden flash of insight Aquarius and its ruling planet, Uranus, are genuinely famous for across generations of astrological observation. One moment you don't understand a situation, and the next moment, without any new information arriving from the outside, you simply see it. Clearly. Completely. Like someone finally cleaned a window you didn't even realize had gone dirty over months of quiet build-up. If you've had a sudden, almost electric realization about a person or a pattern in the last day or two, that's the window effect activating early, and it tends to intensify right up until the exact moment the moon reaches its peak illumination. Number 4 is the doorway pull. This is the restless, almost magnetic urge to leave a room, a conversation, a situation, or even an entire chapter of your life without fully knowing why yet. You don't want to explain it out loud. You don't want to justify it to anyone who asks. You just feel pulled, quietly and persistently, toward the exit. This is the most important signal of the 4, and it's the one this entire warning is actually built around. You'll notice these 4 cracks don't stay contained to one part of your life. They tend to show up everywhere at once, just in different disguises. In relationships, it looks like suddenly noticing a pattern you'd been explaining away for years. At work, it looks like a role or a title that used to feel like an achievement, suddenly feeling like a costume. In your own self-image, it looks like catching yourself in the mirror and for one strange second, not recognizing the tired version of yourself staring back. None of this means something is wrong with you. It means the structure is finally being inspected honestly, possibly for the first time in a long while, and honest inspections always feel disorienting before they feel like relief. And if you're the kind of person who feels all of this earlier and harder than the people around you, there's a real reason for that too. Not just a personality trait you've been told to manage. Aquarius rules objectivity and distance, the ability to step outside a situation and see it from above, while Uranus, its ruling planet, governs the nervous system directly, the actual wiring that picks up on change before your conscious mind has a name for it. So if you've always been the one who senses a shift in a room before anyone says a word, or the one who somehow knows a relationship is ending months before it officially does, this full moon is going to feel louder for you than it does for most people around you. That isn't a flaw to fix. It's closer to an early warning system, and tonight, of all nights, it's worth trusting instead of talking yourself out of. Knowing all of this is only useful if you actually do something with it. So here are 3 simple, concrete ways to step back tonight, instead of just nodding along with the idea. First, if there's a message, an email, or a decision you're feeling the urge to send or finalize tonight, write it out if you need to, but don't hit send. Let it sit until the moon has actually peaked and the pressure has had a full day to release. Second, give yourself at least one stretch of real quiet tonight. No notifications, no scrolling, no background noise pretending to be company, because Aquarius energy needs space to actually show you what it's trying to reveal, and it can't do that while you're distracted. Third, if you can, spend a few minutes outside or at least near a window, looking at the actual sky. There's something almost embarrassingly simple about physically looking up at the source of all this pressure instead of only feeling it secondhand through your thoughts. None of these 3 things require you to explain yourself to anyone. They just require you to stop actively building for one night and let the inspection happen without your hands on the wall. Here's the part most people get completely wrong, and it's exactly why I'm telling you to step back tonight before the moon fully peaks tomorrow. Stepping back does not mean running away. It does not mean shutting people out or making a dramatic, irreversible decision in the middle of an emotional peak. Stepping back means something far smarter than that. It means you stop actively load-bearing for one single night. You stop making the hard call, sending the confrontational message, quitting the job in a group chat, or forcing the conversation that's been building for weeks. Under a Pluto-charged Aquarius full moon, whatever decision you make in the heat of the actual peak is being made by the pressure, not by the real grounded version of you. And decisions made by pressure, even when they feel like sudden clarity in the moment, very often need to be revisited once the structure finally settles back down. Real architects don't walk into a building to inspect it during an earthquake. They wait for the shaking to stop, and only then do they assess what genuinely needs to change. So tonight, you essentially have 2 paths laid out in front of you. On one path, you ignore every signal your body has been quietly sending all day. You push straight through the exhaustion. You have the confrontation. You make the impulsive move, and you let the full moon's raw pressure make your decisions for you instead of waiting. That path usually leads to a version of tomorrow where you're left cleaning up an emotional mess you never actually meant to create, apologizing for words said at the peak of a pressure spike, or quietly grieving a door you closed that never needed closing in the first place. On the other path, you do something that sounds almost too simple to matter. You step back. You let tonight stay quiet. You let the structure be tested without you standing directly underneath it, swinging a hammer at your own walls. You observe the cracks instead of frantically trying to patch every single one of them in the dark. And when the moon finally peaks tomorrow and the pressure naturally begins to release on its own, you're left standing in a far stronger position to actually rebuild, clearly, intentionally, on your own terms, instead of the moon's terms. And this is the part I really need you to hear, because final warning can sound like a threat, and I promise you, it isn't one. It's an invitation. You are not being punished by this full moon. You are being shown something you couldn't see clearly before now. The structures that crack under this kind of astronomical pressure were, by definition, never load-bearing in the way you assumed they were. What actually survives an Aquarius-Pluto full moon is always what's real. The relationships built on genuine truth stay standing. The parts of your identity that are actually yours and not perform for someone else's comfort stay standing. What falls away is only ever the parts of the structure you were holding up out of fear, obligation, or old inherited programming. Never the parts built on something true. So if something in your life does crack open in the next day or two, that isn't the moon punishing you for anything. That's the moon finally showing you what was already quietly unstable, so you get the chance to rebuild it into something that can actually hold your full weight going forward, instead of collapsing on you again later when you least expect it. It also helps to know you're not the first person this has ever happened to, and you won't be the last. Aquarius-Pluto full moons don't arrive often, and when astrologers look back at previous instances of this same pairing, a pattern keeps repeating itself. Whole friend groups quietly reshuffle within weeks. People leave jobs they'd been unhappy in for years, but never had the nerve to name out loud. Long, unresolved conversations finally happen, not because anyone planned them, but because the pressure simply made pretending impossible to sustain any longer. None of that happened because the moon reached down and rearranged anyone's life by force. It happened because the moon revealed what was already true, and once something true is fully visible, it becomes almost impossible to keep unseeing it. That's the actual mechanism behind tonight's warning. Not fate, not punishment, just an unusually honest mirror held up at exactly the moment you happen to be standing in front of it. This is also exactly why Aquarius energy, even at its most intense, ultimately points you toward community and authenticity rather than isolation. The same sky that's testing your personal structure tonight is also, through that tight Sun-Jupiter conjunction sitting in Leo, quietly expanding your capacity to be seen honestly by the people who actually deserve to see the real version of you. That's not a coincidence either. Full moons in Aquarius have a long, observed track record of separating performative connections from real ones almost effortlessly. The people who remain in your life after a lunation like this are very rarely the people you need to worry about losing. It's usually the exact opposite. It's only the ones who fit into the old, cracking structure who quietly step away on their own, without you ever having to force anything or burn a single bridge on purpose. So here is your actual final warning, and it's a far kinder one than the title probably made it sound. Tonight is not the night to force anything into place. It's the night to listen. Notice which parts of your foundation still feel genuinely steady, and which parts feel like they're finally asking for your honest attention after being ignored for far too long. Notice where you've quietly been the load-bearing wall for people who've never once stopped to ask if you were tired. Notice what's suddenly become obvious to you that wasn't obvious even a week ago. And then, instead of acting on any of it in the next few hours, just let it sit. Let the moon do exactly what it's going to do tomorrow, whether you interfere or not. Your only job tonight is to witness the structure honestly, not to demolish it in the dark out of panic. If any part of this resonated with you, even a little, that's usually the clearest sign you already know you're one of the ones this message was actually meant to reach tonight. Tell me in the comments which of the 4 signals hit closest to home for you: the foundation, the wall, the window, or the doorway, because I genuinely read every single one. And once the moon peaks and the pressure finally releases, that's exactly where we pick this back up. One last thing before you go. Whatever cracked open for you while you were watching this, you don't have to fix it tonight. And you definitely don't have to fix it alone. Structures get rebuilt one honest decision at a time, not in a single dramatic night under pressure. So save this if you think you'll need to come back to it tomorrow, once the noise in your head has settled a little. Send it to the one person in your life who's clearly going through their own version of this same structural test right now, whether they've said it out loud yet or not. And if you're new here, this is exactly the kind of sky reading, no fluff clarity we do every single time something real is actually happening above us, not just when it's convenient for a headline. Stay close tonight. Rebuild tomorrow. You already know which one you are.